Hey, librarians. Thank you for stopping by our panel. I'm Toni Shiloh. I write Christian contemporary romance. I write romance that gives you all the feels and a faith message. But more importantly, I'm here to talk about The Christmas Catch, which is my latest Christmas novella. It's about Jaleel Walker. He's a injured NFL football player who's returned to his hometown of Peachwood Bay to recover from his injury. And right next door is his ex-high school sweetheart, Bibi Gordon, who is also returned to their hometown, single, divorced, and with a daughter. And even though the two used to be exes, they work together to have a Christmas ball and bring joy to their town for the Christmas holidays. So it's great to see how the two will come together. But enough about me. Liz, tell us about yourself and your latest book.
Yeah, hi Tony. This is Liz Johnson, and my latest book is Meddling with Mistletoe. And it is a Christmas story set at the Red Door Inn on Prince Edward Island. So it's a return to the inn for some readers who enjoyed that series. And in this book, Aretha Franklin, no relation to the singer, is an aunt who is trying to meddle in her nephew Daniel's life. And she has decided he needs to fall in love. And so she works with Whitney, who is working at the inn and baking pies every day to try and earn tuition for culinary school. And so Aretha ropes Whitney into helping her set Daniel up with someone else. But the problem is, the more time Whitney spends with Daniel, the more she decides maybe she would be the right match for him. And so it's just a matchmaker who thinks she's great at it and really is not. And two hearts who are gonna just find a lot of joy in the Christmas season. So yeah, I really enjoyed writing it. But I have to say, I'm also very excited about the Christmas Catch because I love NFL football. So
Woo-hoo.
that is that's like right up my alley. So I'm super excited to read that one.
Yeah, I'm definitely a diehard NFL football fan too.
Oh, yay. Yay. Oh, that's so cool. So Tony, your book has kind of a second chance romance trope in it. And readers love tropes, which is, it's so fun as a writer to like figure out like, what tropes are going to fit in into our books. So why do you think that second chance stories, second chance romances are so popular with readers?
Oh, I think there's just something about the second chance that offers readers redemption and hope.
Mm,
It's that opportunity to right wrongs from the past, have that second chance to do something all over again, but get it right this time.
hmm
And I think paired with the Christmas season, like it's just reiterates the hope that a lot of readers find in Christmas. And with Jaleel and Phoebe, they were high school sweethearts. And Jaleel's NFL career is, football is what broke them up. And they both love the sport.
mm.
So being able to see them work out the past differences, rediscover who they are currently, I think that's what readers love. Just all those little awkward tidbits that come from knowing someone but not knowing who they are. And then the hope that, surges as they come together. But, second chance romance, not the only great trope.
Mm.
I'm so intrigued by matchmaking trope that goes wrong. Why do you think readers love the matchmaking trope?
Yeah, I think we all want to like we want those that we love to have the same joy that we've found. And so whether it's like romantic relationships or friendships or family, like we want to share that joy. And especially at Christmas, right? Like that's such a season that's like filled with joy and fun and laughter and opportunities for romance. So, especially like when it's chilly and you want to cuddle under like twinkly lights, I mean, it's like perfect, right? It's such a
Definitely.
great time for romance. And when you see somebody that you love who wants that, but maybe has had a hard time in the past, or for whatever reason doesn't have that joy or, in some cases that romantic love in their lives that they'd really like, you want to help them find that. And so I really love that, like in my story, Aunt Aretha, she really cares about her nephew and wants him to find joy. And that's her intention, even though she gets in the middle of things that she has no business getting in the middle of. And maybe she's not as good at it as she thinks she is, but it's still it's a lot of fun. And I do think that we want to share that joy. And so I think that's why readers love like seeing matchmakers in books.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. And especially like you said, adding it with the Christmas season,
Mhm.
adds another level to the book.
Yeah.
Um, and speaking of Christmas, what is it that you love most about
Mhm.
the Christmas season?
Oh, yeah. I mean, oh, well, there's so many things. I mean, there's so many. And I love all of Christmas and I love gift giving. I especially love shopping for gifts because I like to think about the people that I'm going to be gifting a gift to. I like to think about um, what would be special to them and what would show them that I've really thought about them. So I'm definitely a gift giver at heart. So I love that part of the season, but I also love just the joy and the kind of the moments of wonder where we could just pause and be still and just remember, like, why are we celebrating? Christmas Eve service has always been one of my favorite parts. Just sitting with my family, singing, these old Christmas carols, that have been around for centuries, and yet they hold these truths that just really inspire and uplift and encourage and just bring joy during the season. So yeah, amidst kind of the busyness of the season, I really love those kind of quiet moments where we can just sit and be filled with the awe and wonder of what we're celebrating. So yeah, how about you, Toni? What do you love about Christmas and the season?
Oh yeah. So I'm definitely all the things, right? The decorations, the food, not just the baking, but like, seeing people's traditional dishes that they cook each Christmas. Um, um, Opening the gifts, like you said, buying gifts for others. And then there's the fact that I'm doing all of these things with my loved ones, right? I get to be with my close family, but also it's an opportunity to see your extended family, your
Mhm.
friends, and just, enjoy the season with the people that you love the most, whether it's romantic or familial, just the fact that they're all together and you've got all the decorations, all the food, all the fun. It just makes season very merry and bright, right?
Yes. Yes. Oh my, that's so true. That's so true. Um, so I mean, we have the privilege today of chatting with librarians, which is just such an honor for me, and I'm sure for you as well, Toni. What is it about libraries and librarians that has really impacted you and influenced you over the years?
Yeah, well, I think my earliest memories are going to the library, being able to check out all of the stack of books, as many as they would let me,
Yep.
and exploring new worlds between pages, finding new authors, developing favorite authors, and reading everything they had.
Mhm.
Not only that, but librarians just seem to have like this ability to point you directly to the books that relate to your personality or, match the favorite authors you've already loved. They'll help you discover new ones. And I've known that being able to ask them research questions for my writing has been vital. And they always seem to just have this, kind countenance about them. Like I've never seen an angry librarian before, and I don't even know if they exist, but surely they have difficult customers, but you would never be able to tell. They just seem to welcome you into the space, and I love that.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you have any favorite libraries or librarians?
Man, I like every library is my favorite, I think. I love going into libraries and just being there. And I've done some of my very favorite writing at libraries. There's something about just the stillness, the not being interrupted, the nobody's like clamoring for your attention or and and it's like you have to turn your phone off because you want to be, quiet. And so there's no like urgent interruptions. And there's just like this silence and this peace and this invitation to just be still with whatever you're working on or whatever you're reading or whatever you're enjoying. And so I just really appreciate that about libraries. I also really love that, like, I really think that they're maybe the last place on earth, I don't know, at least the last place in America where you can go and nobody expects you to buy anything. Like there's no like, how much do you want to tip? There's none of that. There is only like just being surrounded by words on a page, which has always inspired me. And just being able to just really be kind of uh, just quiet and still there and surrounded by inspiration and knowledge. I mean, it's like, centuries of knowledge on those pages. And I love researching and learning new things. So just going and like just discovering new books that I had no intention or no idea that I would want to read. And I love that how the librarians always seem to know kind of what I need. It's almost like they have this like I don't know, like just this innate knowledge, like this book will speak to you right now, and here you go. And so I often find that like when I'm visiting a library and they have a display out, I will stop and I'll look at it and I'll be like, I didn't even know that I needed this, but this is such a good book for me right now at, based on where I am. And and the other thing that I love about librarians is I find that they have such a fantastic sense of humor. I have noticed more and more on Instagram as reels have become more popular and things. Like I just feel like librarians have the best reels on social media. Like they're passionate about what they do. They're passionate about the people that they serve, and it's so inspiring and it's so fun. And I love their joy. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah. So Toni, what's next for you? What are you working on next? Do you have a new book coming out or after the Christmas catch?
Yeah, so what's next for me is The Nature of Love. It releases in February 2025. So
Okay.
it's the third and final book in my Love in the Spotlight series,
Okay.
which pairs up an orthopedic surgeon heroine with a wildlife conservationist slash YouTuber star hero. And it's a little bittersweet that it's the final book in the series, but that means that soon I'll be in the libraries researching for the next read and
Yay.
enjoying the new discovery of new books.
That's so
Um,
cool.
but what about you? What's after your matchmaking book?
Yeah. So after Meddling with Mistletoe, my next book will be Sometimes You Stay. And it is also set on Prince Edward Island at the Red Door Inn. And it comes out in May of 2025. And it will be the story of another social media influencer. So it's so interesting that you have a YouTube star in your book. Um, and my story is about a travel influencer. And so she's got channels on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and all the normal places. But she is just well, it's so interesting to me because like 10 years ago, we never would have thought that that could be a career, right?
Right.
Like, like how much of the world has changed. But for my character, she does not have a home. She lives out of her suitcase. She travels everywhere. She does not have a home base. And there's a lot of things that happen in her past that are sort of, explain why that's the case. But she meets a guy on Prince Edward Island who owns a family business that breeds Newfoundland dogs. And so she like meets him, but he's like the fourth generation working on this land. And he loves the island. He loves the people there and the weather and all of it. Like it is his home. And so for her to meet somebody who's like home is so important to him, and her being somebody who doesn't have home, it was a fun story to write and research. And so yeah, so that's Sometimes You Stay, and it comes out in the spring.
That sounds amazing. I hope there's a dog on that cover.
There is. There really is. I loved it so much. It's the first dog on a cover I think I've had, and I was so excited.
I've
So,
got a dog on my cover too. Like we're twinning today.
Love it so much. Oh, I love it. Oh, oh my gosh. We're just totally lined up and we didn't even know it.
I know, right?
That's so great.
So,
Oh, so Tony, where can people find you? What, where can librarians go to learn more about you, about your other books, and keep up to date with all the new stuff that's going to happen after your next book?
yeah, you guys can find me on my website, tonishiloh.com. I've got all my books listed there, the ones coming out and the ones from the past. And if you're so inclined, you can sign up for my newsletter as well. And all my social media handles are there. I'm most prominent on Facebook and Instagram. What about you, Liz? Where can they find you?
Yeah, so I'm on lizjohnsonbooks.com and I also have a newsletter there and I send it like a little less than once a month, so like 8 to 10 times a year. And I always have like giveaways and fun things in there. And so yeah, so if you want to just visit me on my website, lizjohnsonbooks.com, or anywhere on social media, I'm on Facebook or Instagram. I'm on X as well, but I don't post there very often. So, but you can find me there at Liz Johnson Books.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much, librarians. We have just really enjoyed getting to spend these last several minutes with you and just so grateful for all that you guys do. So thank you so much.